Coffee Blonde Ale. How do you get coffee blonde? Hey, it's Bryon Muffin back with a beer review, and here today from Sonder Brewing in the Cincinnati, Ohio area, a Kato Coffee Blonde Ale with script coffee. So it's the Kato Ethiopian blend. I have no idea what that means. I'm not a coffee drinker of any stretch of the imagination. There's no other information on here. It's in Mason, Ohio is where Sonder is. It's been a few years, but I have been to the brewery. Had some really good sours. They had, if I remember correctly, they had something one year with sours and donuts or something. There was some kind of, my brother and I hit several breweries, and I forget what the other one we went to that had some kind of Oreo cookie thing, and they were having problems. But man, it does have a nice coffee aroma. I made a coffee ale many years ago now. Got I got it coarse ground at Jungle Jim's. I mean, this is long before they rearranged everything. The one in Fairfield, and it's interesting. You know, you can take a pale ale and you put the coffee in, and it was pretty good. It didn't quite have the aroma that this one has, and that's part of it too. Is how do you get the coffee flavor? Some people will do an alcohol extraction, like vodka or something that doesn't have any flavor. They'll soak it in that, and then use that as a concentrate. I put mine in secondary. I think I had it on there, I want to say 2 weeks, but it's been too many years. And I'm sure I didn't take notes, but that's got a great pale ale, blonde ale, more like a blonde ale. I almost never could get something that clear or that color. Many times you got to use maize and other stuff to get that coloring. It's got a nice coffee aroma, and it's a very thin mouthfeel, oddly enough. I wasn't expecting that. But the coffee part is kind of subtle. I actually don't mind it. I mean, as someone who typically doesn't drink coffee, I just don't, my daughter loves it, and my mother loves it. It just kind of skipped over me. My brother, I think, does too, although he can't have the caffeine anymore. But that is interesting. Because on the nose, I get coffee, and when I inhale deeply enough, I get hints of malt and other things that I would expect from a blonde ale. And it's almost like there's a hop presence, and it's very subtle. In the Ethiopian, it seems to be a milder coffee. I don't know, right? Like I said, if someone knows what an Ethiopian blend coffee is, let me know. But I'm going to have to remember that, because if I do one of these again, because I actually want to do a coffee whiskey. That's nice. I mean, it finishes smooth, and it just kind of fades away. And part of my problem is I have a logistics issue, because we're a septic tank here. And typically I used to just, when I was cooling, I just let it run out. Well, I'll fill my septic tank up. And Toby's in there doing something. That is delightful. I mean, that's a 5 out of 5. I mean, I don't really have, I mean, mine that I did was probably about 3.5 to 4 years ago. But what I like about it is it's a nice blend. You have a blonde ale, hints of hop aroma, and maybe it's different when it warms up, I don't know. But there's a little bit of floral, just tiny bit hint of floral. There's a little bit of malt, and I would almost swear that I had cream in the coffee. It's that interesting a mixture. Like, there's just enough sweetness and just enough coffee roastedness and a little hint of bitterness. I don't know if it's tannin or bittering hops. Yeah, it's starting to open up a little bit more. But that is well blended. That is a very nice balance. So I'd like to know what they're doing to get the coffee flavor. Like I said, some do a cold press, some do alcohol distillation type thing, where they basically just let it soak and then they pull it off and they do a blend. They're obviously not getting much in the way of coffee characteristics as far as color. I mean, maybe a tiny bit. Although there's like a hint of brown right underneath the head. That's kind of strange. But that's a really good blend. I like it. That's a good 5 out of 5 as far as I'm concerned. Yep, the hops are coming up a little bit, but it's still balanced. It still has a nice, even keel. So you can have your beer and coffee at the same time. And I don't know, quite often on these coffee beers, the amount of coffee used is so minor. If there's any caffeine, it'd be very, very small traces, typically. I don't know, right? I have no idea. But if anyone knows, or someone can link over to the Sonder Brewing and say, hey, answer this guy's question, that would be awesome. But this is good. I really like this. I'm very surprised, not being a coffee drinker, but it's smooth. It's not overly sweet. There's a bit of coffee lingering now in my mouth. If I was to nitpick, the thin mouthfeel was kind of weird, and unexpected. But sometimes you do. If that's what you're aiming for, they nailed it. So I don't know what they were aiming for, but that's really being nitpicky too. But no, I like it. So have you had stuff from Sonder? Do you have a favorite of theirs that you'd like me to try and get a hold of? Basically, once in a while I go to Cincinnati or someone comes to visit me, this is how I got this. They go by Jungle Gems. So let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much, and we will see you. Goodbye. That's straight. Man, I'm getting too skinny. I have really got to start working out.